What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Eclectic Beard. So this go round, we got a little bit of a deeper dive into one of the factions that we've seen in the Brickies Warhammer 40k. Every faction explained, at least the part one video. Looked at Sisters of Silence. Now, joining me to take and break or to take and go through some of the lore and also show some of the figurines was my buddy Laz from Lazy Mini Painting. He's been he does the painting of the figures. He's got a nice little collection. So he's heavy into the lore and everything like that. And so me and him, he did a little bit deeper dive with me. We're gonna be doing this, be one video a week on this. Next week will be a different faction, and every week after. Now some of them, due to some of the different units that are part of that faction, some of the units or some of the factions might actually wind up with more. So and be multi-part. But the deeper dives, I'll be doing this every week, and I got some more 40k stuff coming as well. Just because, again, I'm fascinated by it. I love stuff that's lore heavy, especially if it's like tabletop role playing or this being battlefield type stuff. I just love this type of stuff. So hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, Sisters of Silence. Hello, everybody, and hello, EB. But yeah, Sisters of Silence, an old part of the faction. I don't know why you actually chose these, but well, you just told me why you chose these. But they've had a bit of a tumultuous past with the Imperium. They started out before the during the Great Crusade, when the Emperor was still walking around hacking and slashing. As part of his elite guard, he was aware about demons and the warp and chaos and things, and he knew that their specific gene, their null gene or their pariah gene, was a very good weapon against that. So he weaponized it, and it was part of his specific, I need you to go and do that job. Deals with demons, deal with warp stuff, go kick its ass, because you will. That's what you're there for. It comes to the Great Crusade. They get used as part of various different armies to go do some stuff that I don't know if you want to pick up on the lore. Something quite big they take part in. After the Horus Heresy, however, they get quite ostracized and shunned because, well, nobody likes them. That pariah gene, that thing that makes them so good against the wall, makes everyone else feel really dodgy near them. Any psychers nearby? Nah, ripping their own eyeballs out rather kill themselves. Light gun to the head. Much easier than standing next to this person. So they got limited to what they called the Black Ships. Now, the Black Ship's job is to go around and collect the psychers that get sacrificed to the Emperor. This is all of them, all the Sisters of Silence, all these fantastic warrior martial women that have this fantastic ability. Nah, shunned on your ships, go around, collect psychers. That's all you're allowed to do. We don't want to see or hear from you at all. Literally, they're called the Sisters of Silence. So while they're on those ships, they not only go around looking for psychers, they also go around looking for other nulls. So other ones like themselves. Now this is I don't know if this is canon. This is just my own head theory because they're all women. The female nulls they find, they bring on as acolytes, teach them the ways of assisted sisterhood. And once they actually become a silent sister, that's when they take their little vow of silence, because they've learned the body language, movement, and everything, gesture for the silent way of speaking that they use. Very subtle, like eyebrow gestures, slight movements, hand signs, stuff like that. Until you're actually made into a silent sister, you can talk. So acolytes will usually go along with them to other things if they need to. Any males they find, I think they send off to the assassins, because they did. Is it the Colexus assassin he did in the last one? The null guy, basically the same thing but for the assassins. So I think that's where they send the male ones. Kind of makes sense, but I'm not 100% sure if that's canon or not.
So they basically they they collect people basically.
Yeah.
That's their so the Imperium's garbage collectors, kind of.
Kind of, yeah. They go around basically collect the psychers for the throne, and any nulls that you've got will pick up as well. And then obviously they train them on board all these hundreds and God knows how many black ships they've got. Then something else big in the lore happens, and we get a Primarch returning. We get the Primarch of the Ultramarines returns. And he's the only loyalist Primarch booting around at the moment in the current gameplay. He comes back, has a talk to Daddy, who's stuck on the chair, and realizes, what the heck are you doing just leaving these sat on the black ship? You do realize that these are good for fighting this chaos stuff, this stuff that's been running rampant and he's now going nuts everywhere. These are just really good at fighting it. Right, you lot, leave whatever you need on the ship. The rest of you, come with me. We've got to go, and takes them back out of essentially being ostracized and integrates them into the Adeptus Custodes as part of their fighting force, because the Custodes have no protection from the warp. Martially, they're brilliant. They're like, bigger, badder, tougher than a Space Marine, one-man army type thing. But yeah, you got some little psycho dude who can smite the hell out of it. Don't matter, he's gonna lose. Stick one of the little sisters near him. That psycho's not doing anything because, well, she's nearby. She's exceptionally good at taking out psychos. Any questions so far?
No. These, like I said, they sound interesting. Just a little hint he give in that video. I was like, they sound interesting as hell. Because I remember that was one of the other things is they made people so uncomfortable to be around. And I was like, So whenever you were like, yeah, look, we can take and go faction, faction by faction or unit by unit, I was like, oh, and we got pictures.
Yes, we have. Well, they don't have much of a range on the tabletop. So can you see this sliding up and down?
Yes.
Right, excellent. They have one named character, which is this Aaliyah lady here. So if you were to actually field a faction of these on the tabletop, you could do it. Now, you could either field it with the Custodes, which is generally how you would field it, or you can field it on their own. Now, that's your little lady there is the only named character model. Okay. Other than that, they have 3 kits. Well, they have 1 kit which can make 3 different units, as well as your leader unit, which you will need them to do. Those kits are not on this page. Wonderful. There we are. No, it's the same box. It's the Vigilator Squad, the Persecutor Squad, and the Witch Seeker Squad. You don't get a heavy for some reason with the Sisters of Silence, and that's bizarre. The Persecutor Squad is your standard battle line troop. They have bolters and power armor. Your Witch Seeker Squad are your fast attack. They're equipped with flamers. Very much a theme with the Imperium is explosive rounds and flame guns.
But I've correlated them kind of to the Roman Catholic Church, especially during like the Middle Ages, and fire being a big part of it really makes sense with that correlation that I did, because they loved to burn people back in the day. Just saying,
Well, there's a big Roman thing going right the way through a lot of the Imperium stuff.
They like burning people too, and if they didn't nail them to crosses and shit.
Oh, these,
or feed them to lions.
The things that do worse and better, I suppose, depending on how you look at things. Yeah, these other factions that are just weird how they run and how they work. Just some of the planets themselves are just odd. Hive worlds, things like the Armageddon as well. That's a different story for different times. Anyway, Vigilator Squad, your elite squads, basically bitches with broadswords. Those are the 3 units. You have a troop, an elite, and a fast. The only other thing you get, which they don't seem to have listed there, is that's their transport, which is a rhino. So you stick 10 of them in there, steam them forward, and let them do what they need to do. They're not very tough. They're not very strong. They're about as strong and tough as an Eldar or a human. So nothing compared to these big guys next to them. So yeah, they're not as big. They're not as strong as anyone normal. Really, just normal people that wise. Very well trained, very well armored, and armed, as you can see. Reliant mostly on their psychic ability, their psychic notifying abilities. If you were to field them on the tabletop, however, and you wanted to field them not on their own, because the limitation is a bolt gun's 24-inch range. Okay for taking out light infantry. So's a flamer. Okay for light infantry. Women with broadswords, yeah, okay, you can take out some elite infantry, but you put them against tanks and they're not going to win a fight. Which is why they usually get paired up with the custodes. Those guys have big spears and big heavy hitting things. So if you was going to field them as an army, generally it'd be just a small section just to go, right, if I'm facing Thousand Suns or Grey Knights or anyone who's psycho heavy or demon heavy, then these will be taking care of them. They won't be doing any of their stuff that they want to do because these were going after them. Bye-bye. And then the custodes can do the big heavy lifting like they normally do.
So they're not exactly best used in all situations, but the situations they're used in, they're highly effective.
Yes. Whereas the custodes are one tool, all jobs. What have you got? I've got my spear and my bolt with a bolt built into it. What are you going to do? I'm going to kill anything on the board. Right, okay, you do that, mate. They are very much the heavy hitters. For instance, the guys on bikes, they're heavy, which is a landmaid who does actually have something that can take out vehicles. Very small army because of it, though. So you would only have a couple of units of the Sisters of Silence in there with the couple of units of custodes that you've got points left over to spend, because custodes are very expensive. They're very tough, very hard hitting, but as I said, they lack that psychic defense that all of our armies get to a degree. So that's where the Sisters of Silence come in on the gaming side. Back to a little bit of the lore side, because my memory is awful. My memory is absolutely awful. You're going to have to, in the current setting, now the Sisters of Silence are back on the battlefield. They predominantly fight on the side where the Emperor can still be seen. Right, big lore crash, make it very easy. Abaddon did something bad. Cadian's now crying a lot because the planet's cracked and broken. Now it's been warped right across the galaxy, split in half. Light side, still see the Emperor's beacon. Everything's still nice. Dark side, nah. Warp travel, not going to happen because you can't see the Emperor, you don't know where you're going. It's like trying to sail at sea with a blindfold at night. It's not going to happen. You're not going to find where you want to go. They predominantly work on the lighter side, so they're still helping out the side where they can see and move and do things freely. As far as I'm aware, they've not yet gone to the dark side. Not sure why, because I'm sure they'll be very, very useful over there. But yeah, they've not yet gone over to the darker side. So during this crusade to try and group all of humanity back together again, they are working to basically keep the defenses shored up, as opposed to branch out and try and push the boundaries and reclaim what was lost. So still being very much used as a defensive form rather than an offensive formation like the Space Marines are, or the Imperial Guard are. They're used as the offensive, just throw them at the enemy until the enemy isn't there anymore, including Space Marines. Pretty much the same faction. Sisters of Silence are not. They're used very sparingly in certain points when and where needed. So they are very much an elite, purpose-built section almost. Reminiscent over from before the Horus Heresy. They've been rebrought back in the current law because Robert Gullivan has resigned. Right, have you now got more questions on your face than you've got any answers to regarding the Sisters of Battle?
No, not really. This is I'm just learning about all of this. I'm just fascinated because there's one thing I figured out. Anything you might miss or anything a video I might take and watch and any information I might miss, trust me, that'll be taken up in the comments and I'll get paragraphs and pages and essays and everything, which is awesome because there's a lot of things that that you're probably going into that people will probably fill in blanks on and stuff like that, or give different pieces of lore. Just like with any other video that I do, like any kind of like either small like misses of stuff, or just like people like, hey, wait a minute, but they left this out, and I'll get like a book's worth of stuff to take and read. But it's awesome because it kind of, that's one of the great things about the community is that you get so much of people that are like, hey, well, here's this, or here's the reason why for this, and it gives a whole different like spectrum of things. And what I'm like, oh, okay, the video didn't explain that, but this right here, and if I'm still curious, I can kind of do Google searches and stuff, which happens quite often.
Well, the codexes are good ways to get information. Problem is, I don't want to put codexes up.
Yeah, no, we want to avoid that because you got copyright and all this other crazy shit. Because they're like, hey, wait a minute, he put that on screen. No, strike that motherfucker.
Yeah,
got to be exactly the way that shit goes.
We're going to be avoiding that. So that's probably the best way to find out about any up-to-date lore. But going back into old codexes and old books as well, you'll find out stuff that's not so much canon, but little tidbits of stories as well as books. The Black Library is the best place for books for this Warhammer stuff. That set of 2 models that I showed you.
Mm-hmm.
There is a book, I believe, actually about them, which is why they've got the models made for them, because of the book. Not read it. I kind of got overloaded with Games Workshop 40k books during the Horus Heresy, especially early on, because, well, when they say there is only war, damn, they're right. There is only war, and there's only so many times you can read a book about this. It's like,
one second.
Not
Kirsten, did you need something? Oh yeah, Daddy's recording. Oh, you're good, baby. You're good.
Yeah.
Kirsten poking her head in like, what are you doing in here?
I'm talking to myself while I watch a monkey peel. Where was we? Oh yeah, back to there's only so many times I could read books about war things. So so I got washed out. I mean, there's lots of character development in there, and there's bits that filled in gaps. One of the battles that the Sisters of Silence took part in, it was in one of the books, 2 books actually, I really liked. Essentially, it's the same battle, but from the opposing sides.
Oh.
And it's 2 Space Marine legions against each other, 1 traitor, 1 loyalist. And it's one that the Sisters of Silence take part in because it's, well, the Thousand Sons. Space Wolves have been sent to go bring back Magnus, who's the Primarch of the Thousand Sons. Things happen, and somehow Lehman Russ, who's the Primarch of the Space Wolves gets given new orders without being given the correct new orders. And rather than being told to bring him back, he's now told to kill him. Well done there. So Space Wolves go with the Sisters of Silence to take out Thousand Suns on their home planet. Thousand Suns being mostly all psychers is the reason why they take the Sisters of Silence along. They don't take a lot of them, but they take enough for a retinue to go with the Primarch to go face Magnus because they know they're going to need it. Because in order of psychic power, Magnus is second to the Emperor. He's above everybody else regarding, he's big psychic, very, very likely psychic powers. So, Sister of Silence, no brainer really. Let's send them in to go take him out. And they're very effective for a couple of reasons. I won't spoil the books for you. But it's one of them moments when the Emperor knew, it's like, look, I need to send these with him because they're going to go deal with my psychic son and everyone's going to get the butt kicked if I don't send these with them to go bring him back. So he sent them with him just to bring him back anyway. The fact that he was going to help kick the crap out of anyone on the planet was an added bonus. But yeah, Prospero Burns and 1,000 Suns, I think it's the two books, being one from the Space Wolf side and one from the 1,000 Suns side.
I'm sitting here going, I wonder if any Flip has these books on their website. Which that's how I read through a bunch of like the Dungeons and Dragons, like the Game Master books and some of the lore books is any Flip. They got a lot of stuff on there. I wish they wouldn't have taken down the what was the other site? But you could download all the manuals for just about anything that you wanted to, or just flip through them and save them. And now that link is useless. So, but it had all the tabletop role playing games and all of the fucking lore, all of the fucking novels, all of everything. And I'm like, man,
yeah,
fuck.
I remember that site. That was a good site. Where's it gone? That's not fair. Right. In fact, do they have any on the Forge World site? I don't think they have any Sisters of Battle stuff on Forge World, as far as not Sisters of Battle, Sisters of Silence. Sisters of Battle is an entirely different thing. Sisters of Battle will shout and scream at you. Sisters of Silence won't. Well, not once they've took the oath anyway. While they're still initiates, they will talk, which is how they now talk to the other factions.
They keep initiates around and taking past messages?
Yeah. So whereas they used to know certain signs and callings for talking with Space Marines, or my camera went on with. Where's my camera going on with? I don't know when I went on my end. So where they used to know the Space Marine call signals and hand signals, they don't, after all the years on the black ships, no point in them anymore. Didn't use them, so they just kept their own that they use, which nobody else knows really. Custos know a little bit of theirs, but not enough to be able to say, yeah, we're gonna have a conversation with them. No. So they keep initiates around to planetary governors, Space Marines, custodes, anyone who needs to verbally communicate, talk to the initiate, because you won't understand a single muscle flex that they do when they respond to you, because that might be all it is. It's a muscle flex and a twitch and a twitch of an eyebrow, but they just give you 16 words in a conversation.
So it would suck to play poker against them, basically.
Oh yeah. Not only would they not have any, they'll be straight poker face. You'll be feeling ill as well. You'll be like, I can't sit at this time. No.
Well, other than the ill feeling, then it sounds like they'd be perfect at charades.
He would be good at it, I should imagine. The precise body movements is just unbelievable. Yeah, it looks like, and contort the body into a position. It's like, oh yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, yes. I would say the Harlequins would be better at that than Sister of Silence. But Pointy is generally a little bit more live and dexterous than humans. Because there are pointy ears in this. There are pointy ears in pretty much everything. Anything to do with any kind of fantasy ever. This entire IP that I love and I play, and many other people do, has been ripped off from everything else in the past. Basically, it's Tolkien thrown in with Dune with a bit of our own history with it. That is the entire principle of the thing. It's weird, but it is wonderful. So yeah, that's Sisters of Silence. Told you it wouldn't take long. They're not that big of a faction. 4 units: a leader, a troop, a fast, and a head, and an elite. That's it. That's all they can have on the board.
Well, it sounds like you don't really need a whole lot of them anyways.
Did very cheap points for them. It's the custos that cost all the bloody points. Sister of Silence, I think, is ballistic skill, weapon skill 3+, strength, toughness 3+, 1 attack for a normal one, 2 attacks for a sergeant level model, 3+ armor save with armor of contempt and the thing that stops psychic powers affecting them and going off within a certain range. They're not that much. I think they're only about between 17 and 20 points per model, which is comparable to a Space Marine. Custodes are coming in at like 40 odd points per model. Weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 2, strength, toughness 5, at least 3 wounds per model, whereas the Sisters only have 1. 2+ armor save as well as symbol saves. About 3 attacks each. Much tougher and bigger models on the table, but they cost shed loads to field even a small number of them. Yeah, for a 2,000 point army, I can get quite a decent selection. Probably about 60, 70 models on the field. Custodes, including Sisters of Battle, would struggle to meet that, but Sisters would be able to hit it easily enough to just be outranged, which would be the problem. Outranged and outstrengthed. I was playing as solely Sisters of Silence army. Also, I've already pointed out, the psychic thing only affects certain units and certain models within the game. There are entire armies and entire factions that people just don't put those type of units in, so it wouldn't have an effect. It wouldn't come into play at all. So as good as they are, as great as they are in the lore, I mean, the black ships themselves are one of the best things that 40k have created within their lore. These are the ships that go around and collect the souls that are sacrificed to the Emperor, which are, because of so many psychers on board, who better than to man them and keep them all in check. These prison ships that have thousands upon thousands of people in them. And the people who nullify the warp itself, they man the ships. They go around on their own. They don't need anyone else because they just leave a blank dot within space regarding where the psychic energy is. Everyone else leaves a blinking light. So the lore side of it is so good. Shame it's on the tabletop, not so great.
Well, sometimes there's things, and even different like books or games and stuff like that. Sometimes things just show better in lore than they do actual, like, with just certain use cases, as opposed to going whole hog every time there's something massive going on.
Well, that's a problem with 40k. Everything's dialed up to 11. So who can kill a planet? me, 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 me. All right, who can take out a entire solar system? Me, 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 me. Everybody's just so overblown and powerful. There needs to be an answer for everything, and yeah, it's an odd one. It certainly is an odd one. I mean, I've considered playing since the new Demon Codex has come out. I've been really tempted to go, ooh, let's have a look at the demons. In that case, the Sisters of Silence, I was going to kick the living snot out of them. But they look really fun to play. The way you can play them and the different, you can basically choose your god or go undivided, and it looks really fun to play. So there's so many different facets and things that you could look into. I mean, if you have time collecting, God help you.
But here this week, I'm gonna start recording part 2 and break that up into pieces. But Demon Codex, what are they adding more shit to take and actually add to the battlefield, or is this just codexes for what you can play on the battlefield already?
Oh no, this is in both sides of the Warhammer, in the fantasy, which is now called Age of Sigmar, and the Warhammer 40,000. Chaos has always been broken up into at least 2 armies with 4 factions in each, kind of. You'll have the human side of the chaos, and you'll have the demon side of the chaos. The 2 can work together, so that's not a problem on there. But you can field solely one or solely the other. The demons cross, literally it's the same demon, so if you've got a demon army, you can play both games. But good marketing. The only faction that does that is the Chaos Demons, so you can play both games. But then you've got each of the technically 5 which can go undivided, which is for a little bit of all of them, and then or you can go pick your god and go with them, and you get benefits and drawbacks for choosing whichever god you go with. Same as if you went undivided, you get not as many benefits from each of them, but you get little benefits from each of them. You'll need to watch the next video. I think the next video is Chaos, isn't it? You said?
Yeah, well, the next video is the everything outside of humans, I think. But I
think it's broken down into Chaos and then Xenos. So yeah, it'll probably be Chaos next. So demons, part of the Chaos side, but they're the warp side of the Chaos side, whereas you've got the human side of the Chaos side. Very, very interesting. Interesting armies. Interesting to play. Do not like the Sisters of Silence. Get their ass kicked. It's just But that's their purpose, is demon killing and psychic killing, or psychic dampening, or killing if necessary. But that is what their purpose is, and they are the best at it. They don't have to bother doing rolls. A psychic can't target them with a power to do no smiting with Sisters of Silence, because it just doesn't work on them. That thing that says, no, you can't use your special, doesn't work on them. They do what they're supposed to do, and they do it very well. I've never faced them though. Never have I faced them. But I'm quite glad I don't run Psychers. I'm alright. I've got 3, but I don't run them. I never see the point of just having 1 or 2 Psychers, because you're either going to go whole hog on it or not at all, really. You can spend somewhere else. And if you're going whole hog on it, 1 or 2 getting your opponent's army is just not going to make a difference.
Yeah. That makes sense, though.
Well, you do get a rule called deny the witch, deny the bitch, whatever you want to call it. You make a psychic. Well, I make a psychic test within so many inches of your psyker. you get a chance to stop it from going off. Each psychic usually gets 1, maybe 2 chances to do that. So it's like, right, okay, I've got 1 psychic here who can do it twice. You've got 4 units that can all use a psychic power. Well, I can't stop all of them now, can I? So yeah, there's no point in taking just 1 against an entire unit. Tell you what, 1 unit of Sisters of Silence. There you go. No psychic powers work at all. None at all. I'm not even rolling your psychic powers. Go away. My friend and actually one of your friends plays Grey Knights, and yeah, they would seriously just screw him over. He'd be relying on some of his other abilities, and when he gets too close to you and you go, nope, switch off, and then he realizes he's not quite as tough as he thought he was once, because he had to pay so much extra because of his psychic powers, and you just got loads of Sisters of Silence because the cheapest chips compared to the other elite armies. All right, they're not the best, but they're cheap. You can throw things at them. You just swamp him, you just destroy him. That'd be funny. He'll be absolutely hilarious. You'd avenge Ezra, definitely. When Ezra played him and lost. It would be a noob completely avenging, and yeah, it would be funny to watch him just wipe the floor with Grey Knights.
Well, I've for the channel coming up, I mean, I'm gonna be reacting to not only the second part of the stuff explained for Warhammer 40k from Bricky's channel, but the Astartes movie or whatever, however you pronounce it.
Oh, Astartes.
Yeah. I'm gonna be reacting to that, but I've also I'm gonna find some of the movies, and I'll probably put the reactions to whatever cartoons or movies I can find, probably up on Daily Motion, because I don't think they're gonna make it onto YouTube, and I'll probably put them into both servers as well. But I've also already downloaded Chaos Bane to start playing that, so I am going to be doing different content, you know, my regular content, but I'm going to be throwing in heavy loads of 40k, and people, probably as much as they're tired of it, the TikTok stuff, and
no, the TikTok stuff, I found that quite funny.
I do too. I enjoy doing them because, number one, it's I get a lot of different feedback from the TikToks, so I get a lot more personal anecdotes of stuff than just either generalizations or, you know, history tidbits, or unless it's like the white trash. I took and did. People are like, I don't agree with the word white trash, and I'm like, I've been called that my whole life. I don't care. Like it's a badge of honor at this point. I was poor growing up. We did what's considered white trash shit. Fuck it. I ain't worried about
some of those things apply over here as well.
That's what I've read.
Like, yeah. Damn, I'm white trash.
So,
well, somebody go get me a barrel. I need to start a fire. I need to check off all these things on this list.
So it's definitely, but this right here, we're gonna be doing this weekly. Take one day a week, and we'll take and go into a different faction to go heavier into it. So a lot of Warhammer 40k coming up for the channel. So for those of you that take and see this and you don't like Warhammer 40k, I'm sorry.
My fault.
I've got a ton of other stuff, and I'll still have a ton of other stuff outside of the Warhammer 40k. Just I'm interested, and at some point in time, I'm sure I'll take and get a couple models to probably hop up on your stream to paint, since those that don't know, Laz, Lazy Mini Painting, yeah, he does. I'll have to hop up and paint with you.
I need to. I've got at the minute I've got cloaks on about 4 of my captains, my ancient to do. I've got 35 scouts to do. I've still got a video to edit about them. My first ever video will be.
Are these? And now I've always wondered this: are these stuff that you've already got, or stuff that you continuously fucking order?
This is me clearing my backlog so I can order more.
What does the missus think about all this?
I can't order Jack Diddley Squat until I've got what I've got painted. This is how the entire thing came about. I wanted more Warhammer. I want to build a Space Marine chapter which consists of 1,000 Marines. So if I want to do that, I've got to paint the ones that I've got. So I've got most of the captains that I need. I still need a crap load more troops, loads more elites, loads more heavies, loads more fasts. But yeah, I'm slowly getting there. I've just found out I thought I had about 20 scouts, with maybe 10 more to build. Turns out I've got 35, with some more to put together if I needed to possibly put it to 40. So it's like, yeah, 10th company is on its way. But yeah, that's what I've got pretty much plastered across my desk at the moment is what 3 captains, 5 terminators, a librarian. That's one of the psychers that don't like the Sisters of Battle. Sisters of Silence. He doesn't like them, but still to do cloaks and some other stuff on him. So yeah, lots of stuff, loads of stuff to be painted.
I was thinking about it whenever I take and get ready to buy. Now, eBay is going to be a good resource for it. So is Amazon, probably. But we've actually
third-party retailers.
Well, I was going to say I live in a little podunk place. Like we've only got Dollar General and a gas station here, but I can take and go about 45 minutes up the road. And it's not a place I would normally think of having a Games Workshop store at all. Just because it used to be a country ass place, but now it's gotten kind of bougie. So,
right.
But there's a Games Workshop. So I think maybe from a first ever purchase of anything to take and put together, or maybe even go probably buy some books. I think I might take and go to the store and, if they allow it, record it.
If they allow it, hell. Well, it depends on how good they are and what the store's like. They might allow it. Personally, I'd find a FLG and go there. A friendly local gaming store, somewhere that stocks it. They'll probably stock it at a discounted price.
Oh, we've got those too. There's one place called the Green Dragon that's been open for years. They've got a back area, and I've walked in there once, and they had like 3 tables set up, and you had people's armies on it, but they also had people playing Magic Gathering or Dungeons and Dragons or like Vampire the Masquerade or stuff like that.
Well, yeah, those places. We've got one over here called Element Games, and they sell it. You get between a 15 to 20% discount off Games Workshop price, just off going to there. So excellent. I'll do that. Thank you very much. And why would you pay more? And plus, what the hell? I'm just looking at the prices you've got to pay for some of this crap. Holy wow, that's expensive. Oh, they're still nice and cheap. You can still get them. And they're still nice and cheap. You can still get them. $95. Look, the Astra Militarum box set, the Imperial Guard, the Standard Army, still $95. See, that's not bad when the combat patrols over here at the moment are £90 and are $150 for you to buy.
Jesus Christ!
But that Astra Militarum one, picking up a couple of them actually give you a decent starting force. You get 2 Lehman Russes in it.
Well, for the money, I hope it would give you a decent starting force. Holy fuck!
Well, what $95? You get a commissar, you get a single heavy weapon team, you get a 10-man squad, and you get a Lehman Russ. Yeah, for $95. For $110.
I'm looking at this, and I know the prices I've seen for like individual units on eBay, and I'm like, I can't imagine why anybody would use eBay for any of this.
Oh yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Oh shit!
And the box that I went $150 for the combat patrol. God, and you get what, 10, 11, 12 models in it. You don't even get 15 models in that one. You get 12. It's 150.
Jesus.
How much? Where's the customs one? Do you get any Sisters of Silence in that one? I can't even see the customs one. Oh, there it is. Yes, you do actually. You get 10 Sisters of Silence, 5 custos, and 3 bikes for $150. It only just breaks less than $10 a model. Holy hell. Yeah, you get ripped. You get ripped on the prices.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Although, that's a 10-man box of the Sisters, a 5-man of the Sword Dudes, and the bikes.
Damn, even on eBay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 or 5 models. Astra Telepathica. $46.75.
Astra Telepathic.
Or you can get one that's out the box already, but it's 5 of them. $26.17. Can't imagine which one I might fucking choose.
No.
Shit.
120.
Oh, there's books too. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn, even the books on here are kind of expensive.
So it's still $230 for that $150 box set. If you was to buy the models individually. So you do make a saving, I suppose, but geez,
Yeah, that's true.
These are little plastic models. They shouldn't be costing that much. $60. That's essentially the box set. You get that little set in the $150 set. You get 2 little Sisters of Silence sets. You get 1 of the bike sets. $230 or $150. Go buy third party. Don't buy from Games Workshop.
Oh shit! Good lord. Maybe I'll go there and buy one of the books or something. Jesus Christ!
I just happen to be looking at customs there because you wanted the custards or whatever you want to call them. Because you wanted Sisters of Silence to be the topic of conversation for this one. You can get cheaper ways to play.
Yeah, I'm definitely been looking at buying a shed. I'm definitely gonna have to buy a shed just so I can set up my recording stuff. Do it use it as a recording studio. Make sure I set up another desk in there just so I can paint and shit like that.
You will need the space. I struggle recording and painting on the same. Because I have my desk as not only my work area but my work desk as well, and it gets covered in all sorts of stuff. I'm struggling to use my stuff. My keyboard's behind a water pot over there for my painting. It's a bit cluttered at times.
I can't imagine. Can't imagine why.
Well, there's somewhere close to 100-ish models scattered around it in various stages. I've just realised I've still got that open to do that. I was looking through Kill Team. I got distracted. I've got like 100-ish models-ish around the desk at any one time, give or take. It's the scenery bits that I'm still not happy with and still not done. I still want to make some changes with these D&D models that are all around there. I've brought my art wall myself because it is October now, so I've had to bring my art wall myself just to stand on my desk and represent the arcs, because it is the month of the arcs. One of my next streams I might actually do some of the Stomper, which has been sat up there lurking at me behind my monitor.
You say it's a month of the orcs?
Yeah, October.
Oh well, this is Mars's month.
Although he collects everything. He's got Grey Knights. He's got Dark Angels, he's got Sisters of Battle, he's got Necrons, he's got Orcs. I think he's got some Eldar of some kind of variety. I think the only things he hasn't got are Imperial Guard, well, Astra Militarum, and your Silent Sisters. He doesn't have any of those. He has quite a lot of factions, does Mars. But yes, he does like his Orcs. He's done a very, very cool stage for them to perform on that lights up. He's yet to put these speakers into work properly, but if we can get that linked up, that'll be pretty cool to have that as scenery.
Yeah.
And pump your Bluetooth music through it while you're playing. It's dangerous terrain. What do you mean? We'll put your model on it and we'll turn the bass up. Let's see what happens. Yeah.
Oh, hell.
Those metal models that break off, that fall off and, yeah, break your foot when they land. I'm glad they make plastic models now. Those ones I was telling you about the other day where I had to go, oh crap, I'm running because I've left this stuff in, stuff that dissolves plastic. Turns out they weren't all plastic or metal. Well, they were all metal. The bits that I thought were plastic stayed fine. 100% metal model. Now been primed and ready to go, both of them. Once I got the paint off, I realised and let my heart calm down because I thought I was melted half the model off. Yeah, it turned out I didn't. I did manage to break one of my scouts, so I had to fix it in a manner that I weren't accustomed to, which is a bit of kit bashing from other scout parts just to get me back up to the 35, which is nice. I have a lot of stuff going on with these, and I really, really, really need to get organised with it. I need one of your sheds. I've currently got a corner in the room to do this in.
I think this is about a good stopping point right here.
This is very good. You wish to stop here. So I'm looking at my desk now thinking,
I was about to say, I think for the last 10 minutes anyways, it's been us taking and we've been just... yeah.
Two nattering old women. It doesn't... Have you hit that stop button yet?
No. That's what I'm about to do. So,
all right, okay.
All right, and there we have it. So if you haven't, if you would please go look at Lazy Mini Painting, Laz's channel. I love he likes talking with folks. He likes talking with folks that are in his chat. So, and he's dedicated to it basically. So he's dedicated to, you know, he loves painting. He started doing it on camera, and just one of my real good buddies. I really appreciate him. Enjoyed watching him when I get the chance to, and chit-chatting with him while he's streaming, or, you know, while I'm off stream or whatever. So, but yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Y'all be good to each other. Love yourselves. Peace.